Hi there boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Random Geek channel. And today I'll be doing an unboxing and first impressions video of the DJI Osmo action camera. So first things first, this camera did come out a year and a half ago, so it's not a new product, but as you know, if you're new to the channel, I do very best bang for buck reviews out there. I do very detailed reviews, so this is going to be the first of a series of videos. So I won't show any video clips of the action camera in this video. I'll leave it for like another one. This is for those people out there who are just curious about what's in the box and how you set up the camera and activate the camera. So if you're going to wait for a detailed review on its functions and how the video footage looks and what you can do with the device, hold on for the next video. This one I'm just going to try to make it as brief as possible and just point out exactly what you get. So we're going to get the elephant out of the room. If you after the greatest and latest in action cameras, go look at the GoPro Hero 9. So that's their latest one. It does as being the newest one out there, and how it performs, it's probably the best action camera that you can get at the moment. There was a few issues on launch, mainly due to the sharpness and the color grading. There was a bit of issues with the optics as well. GoPro has fixed that up with a couple of firmware updates, and I think there's another one coming out this month to fix up some issues. But at the moment, it probably outbeats this one here. But as I said, this is a year and a half old now, and the reason why I'm focusing on this one is probably the second best in class, and you're gonna get it for much cheaper. So I bought this on Amazon Prime Day a couple of weeks ago, and this normally retails in Australia for roughly 500 Australian dollars, and I got it for 300, so 200 off. In the US, you can get this camera for about 280. I think it launched at 280, I believe. I could be wrong, but anyway, the price is dropping, and I'm making this video right before Black Friday and Cyber Monday, so that's actually coming up, and I'm expecting this camera, the price of this camera to drop dramatically. So if you're after a really great action camera, keep your eyes on this one, because I'm expecting it to probably drop down to 250. So you'll be getting, a really great camera for probably about 2.5 times less than the price of the GoPro Hero 9. So some people may ask, why would I even think about getting an action camera? Well, for those guys who actually do a lot of sports, or if you ride a motorbike, or you go surfing, skateboarding, or whatnot, you might something a bit more rugged than your mobile phone, because for 99% of actual people, the best camera that the actual best camera that you have is probably the one that you've already got, which is in your pocket, which is probably your mobile phone. However, you don't want to be strapping your mobile phone to your helmet, or running around with that, because if you drop that, not only would you lose your camera, you will lose your mobile phone and everything that you've got on your phone. So the thing is, if you've ever used a GoPro before, those things last forever. They're pretty much indestructible, they never die. This is mainly for people who either want a brand new to the action camera scene, or are upgrading from an old one. So I bought this one because I'm actually upgrading from a very old GoPro. I think I was on a 5 or something. Yeah, so ancient device, and I just wanted the brand new features that the brand new action cameras actually have. So if you want a brand new one, or you don't want to use your mobile phone, this is what these are for. Arguably, the cameras that you have on your mobile phones are going to be equally similar, because pretty much most mobile phones have a wide point of view camera on them. So so basically an ultra wide. So we're just going to open it up now, and I've got my trusty little knife. I don't have a proper knife. I keep on saying that I should have a proper knife, so I haven't opened it up yet. And you probably will know I'm actually quite terrible at opening boxes. So DJI really basic boxes. So we'll just get a white box, and it's covered in shrink wrap. So basically, big point here is it's got a dual screen. Some people would say, oh, the Hero 9 has that as well. Remember the dual screen thing, especially the color dual screen, DJI did implement it first. So the GoPros, you know, they do have like a fun little screen, but it's pretty much a monochrome LCD screen, and it just gave you information about recording and when it was recording, the time, and how much space you had. So, but DJI, with their first launch of the product, so this is their first generation product. Usually I won't go for first generation products because they will normally have like a lot of issues, and you would normally go for a second generation product. But DJI pretty much knocked it out of the park, and GoPro went, well, holy moly, we've got a real competitor here, and they've implemented a lot of features that are actually in the DJI Osmo Action, and they have put them in the Hero 9 and actually increased the actual specs. So obviously the Hero 9 does 5K, it does slow-mo at a higher resolution, and they've made improvements to their Hyper Smooth technology. So I think the Hyper Smooth version 3 now. So here we got the dual screen, it does HDR 4K, so that's going to make your colors and contrast of your videos much more punchier. Just waiting for the humans outside to drive the car away. So it's waterproof up to 11 meters. So they've upped GoPro there. So the GoPro cameras, like without the waterproof case, was waterproof up to 10 meters. So just to one-upmanship there. So Rocksteady is their version of Hyper Smooth, and it is really impressive in terms of running around and stabilizing the image. Although it does punch the image quite a lot, and a lot more than the GoPros. So just be aware of that. Does 4K 60 frames a second. Most people would argue why you would shoot in 60 frames a second, but it's nice to have the option there. You know, the old argument if you should shoot in 24, 30s or 60s, but I'll leave that for another video. And this is just 8 times, and what they're talking about is the slow-mo. So you can do 1080p at 8 times slower. So we're talking about 240 frames a second, I believe. Anyway, it just shows you what's in the box, but we're going to open it up and have a look. There is an app that you should download when you're activating the camera. That's the DJI Mimo app. It's on Google Play and Apple and on the Apple Store. Okay. And as you can hear, if you've actually heard that, there's a bunch of hoons outside just driving their cars. Everyone drives like really aggressively in Australia, so not too much concern there. And you know, iMovie and Final Cut, you know, normal software. Alright, so we're going to open it up. So maybe I'll just slice along here. So it's along the seam, and hopefully it will open. Yep. As you can see, really bad at opening boxes, especially when they've sealed it up really nicely like this one. But probably what I'll do is I'll just slide it on here. Alright, so when we remove the shrink wrap, shut it to the side. And there's a little sticky label on here. I should really think about getting a really nice box. Alright, here we go. So just hold up with that. So nice, it's got a little thing to protect the screen here, and it's got its little stickers. Okay, first things first. Right, some more cars going by. Yep. Don't know why everyone speeds around here for some reason. Anyway, so it comes in the cage. It's nice that it includes a cage. Most cameras don't, especially if you buy. So one of the things is you will go out online and you'll see a whole bunch of really cheap cameras on the market which you can buy. Things like a Casco, an 8-man. They will make with some really budget cameras. But the one thing that they have over DJI and GoPro is the amount of accessories they throw on. So you get mounts, you get cages, you get every single thing you can think of. DJI and GoPro, they will give you the bare basics because they want you to buy the accessories. Anyway, probably the best thing about unboxing is probably just peeling these off. Oh god, I love doing this. The most satisfying thing about new products is peeling off these little stickers. And of course I will struggle. Probably get it out of the cage first. How do we get it out of the cage? So it's just your standard GoPro cage. Now I'm gonna probably embarrass myself and not be able to open one of these things. Even if you've been using goddamn action cameras so long, it's not funny. Anyway, this should just come out. We'll push it out. And probably try not to break the camera itself. Okay, so it's just your standard GoPro cage. So that would be your power button on there and your record button on there. I see that there'll be grooves for the audio mics on there. This is your quick switch camera. So if you unbutton, so this is also the menu button for when you're not using the touch screen. So, and that's for your ports on the side there. Great how they've kept the fingerprint, the fingertip mounts here, because they're exactly the same as the GoPro. So if you've got GoPro accessories, which I've got 10 billion of, these are going to work and they are going to be compatible. The only thing is this camera is slightly larger, so it won't fit in your standard GoPro cage. So you may have to buy a brand new cage for it, which I do have coming. Especially if you shoot underwater below that 11 meter depth, and we'll talk about waterproofing in a second. So we'll leave it aside. This is a standard camera. All right, so let's go to peeling this. Best bit, love it, cannot get enough. And just going through the power button and stuff, but we'll go for that. So first things first, I'm gonna run through the camera, and I love how it looks. The first thing you're going to notice is the bottom bit is not covered at all, and there's no flap or a piece of plastic because of it. And the thing is really smart is DJI have actually made the battery the seal, and we'll talk about that in a second. So first things, so as you see first is really large lens there, and the great thing is you do need a bit of pressure. Is this camera is removable, but mine's on pretty tight. But just to be just confirm that these things are removable. So one of the major points that the Hero 8 we had against the Hero 8 was you could not remove the lens cap, and they made it non-removable. And the things with GoPro is if you damage the lens cap and you couldn't do anything about it, you had to buy a brand new camera. And the great thing is the Hero 9, they've actually brought it back. So I'm just gonna take out your camera, see if I can take this off. I'll be right back.
A few moments later.
Hi there guys, and welcome back. And holy moly, this lens capsule was absolutely crazy to remove. yeah, and apparently there's a whole bunch of forums out there about how tight this lens cap is actually able to take it off, but we managed to unscrew it in that case. So DJI maybe not put these things on as tight as possible, because there was a whole bunch of people saying strap like rubber bands onto the lens cap just to help you remove it and stuff. It's pretty funny. So as you can probably see, I don't write scripts for my videos. I pretty much just wing it. It's probably why some people like my videos. I'm really honest with my videos, and I just say it how it is. Anyway, DJI, focus on that one. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that these caps are removable, and it's pretty much just a threaded cap there. And you can see the lens there. And the reason why that's important is you can buy NT filters for these cameras. And there's an official one that you can buy from DJI, but a lot of third parties do make filters for them. So if you want to change the color grading, or you know what I mean, yeah, when you use ND filters on there, if you are taking like photos with this device. So yeah, so just tighten it on in that case, but I'm pretty thankful that they've actually tightened that so tight, because they want it for the waterproofing. But yeah, that was a bit of a struggle. Anyway, the big thing here is the big nice front screen here. So one of the main issues with action cameras is sometimes, and especially if you're doing video, if you're doing for your whole YouTube video vlogging scene, is if you're just using an actual action camera for your shots and you're facing the camera to yourself, is to frame the shot. And in the past, it was always a struggle, because you sit there and you point it and you wouldn't know if you were looking directly at the camera, if you were in frame of the shot or whatever, and it was always like you would play around with it. So it's great that you have a front-facing camera, and it's such a great feature that the Hero 9 has actually implemented. And so they've actually went, okay, DJI blew it out of the park in their first attempt, and these are the features that we loved, and we're going to implement it. And one of the things that most people asked for was a front-facing screen, and it's not just an LCD screen, but full color screen. You can frame your shots, and you can switch like between the front and back camera. Underneath here is actually that's a heat sink. So one of the things that you will know with action cameras, especially when you're shooting 4K, is they do tend to overheat, and once they overheat, they will turn off. It was a big problem with the Hero 7, the Hero 8. After you shoot it a while, you would have to wait for the camera to cool down before you could shoot again. So how they thought to resolve this problem was actually to put a heat vent here, and so it would drain excess heat so you can shoot for longer. And there are some videos online in which people have actually tested this. They've put it in ovens and stuff, and the Osmo Action will last longer than the Hero 8 did in terms of shooting before they would shut down. So it's a nice little implementation there. So on the top here, you've got your LED light, your record button here. So and you can actually switch these lights off in the software, which I'll show in a later video. You've got your first microphone here, and your on button here. So, and you can use that to actually turn on the screen. I haven't got a battery in there at the moment. On the side, you've got your quick switch button. So that's to switch from the front to the back camera. And you can also use it as a custom quick menu, which you can switch, which will show when we go through the software. In terms of launch, the main thing with this camera on launch was there was a lot of when you were using rock steady, there was a bunch of lag in the motion. So if you put your hammer, so if you would shoot something, and there'll be like lag of it recording and showing it on the screen. So if you were trying to shoot a quick action shot, you might have missed it. They fixed that with a firmware update, and also switching between the front and the back camera. And there was a couple of seconds delay in terms of doing that. They fixed it up. So the thing with buying these devices, and we've seen that with the Hero 9, is wait for the firmware updates. So don't buy it at launch unless you are willing to deal with those bugs and compromises. GoPro and especially DJI are really great at pushing software updates. DJI, I've been using their products for years. I fly their drones. I've got the Pocket. Yeah, I've flown several of their drones over the couple of years, and they're really great at software updates. And it's not no surprise that I went into the action camera market, because they're if you fly their drones, the cameras that they've got their drones, they shoot really nice video, and especially if you buy their higher priced drones, you do get the Hasselblad sensors on their cameras. Also in terms of their software is pretty great. And one thing that DJI does better than anyone else is gimbals. So there's like mobile gimbals on phones, and you've got the brand new line for gimbals for your cameras. Anyway, so let's get back to the video. So quick switch here. So this one here is to open the port. I'm gonna have more problems again. Funny.
Eventually.
Hi there guys, I'm back. So, never had so much issues just trying to open a bloody port. Yeah, my bad. I didn't see that little tag there. So what you want to do is you want to press that and slide that out. So that's my bad. So yeah, so the port's there, great. USB Type-C. So Apple, if you're watching, that's what we like to see. So to make sure the camera's focused here, USB-C and micro SD card slot here. So it takes up to 250 gigabytes, which should be plenty, given the cameras, the actual batteries on these things only last about an hour or so in most cases. So, but it all depends on what you're shooting at. If you're shooting at 1080p, it's going to last a lot longer. In that case, so slot there, and the labeled side of the SD card faces towards this way. So slide it on there. So if you're going for like long shots here, you can actually like attach a USB Type-C cable. Plug it in, and you can run it off a power bank or something, and you can shoot for much longer. Also, if you want to use the audio adapter, which I have on order, it's got a slot to that USB Type-C, so you can plug in your 3.5 audio mics. So if you've got a Lucky Road or a shotgun mic or something, yeah, that's what I'll be doing. And it allows charging and pass through there, which I've got, and I might make a video on that. It's great how they've got a nice rubber seal there, so that's for the waterproofing. And remember when you're sliding it, and this cover is removable, so you can actually pull it out like that, and see how it's angled. There's a angled groove on it there, so you can slide it back in. So make sure that you get it in. And that should be able to get it in. There we go, and it just pops right in. It's a nice firm seal. Obviously, if you've got that opened and you're shooting in the rain, it's not going to be waterproof, so just be aware of that. So it's nice big screen. So one of the things that DJI got out of the park in this first attempt is a gigantic screen, and I love it. Especially with the GoPros, if you actually go back to 6, 7 and 8, the screen was tiny, and there's only so much you can do, and the more screen you've got, the more you can see, and it just makes like swiping a lot easier. And this is a touch screen. On the bottom, you will notice that there's two releases for the battery, and it's a really smart system. So what I'll do is I'll talk about it in a second, and it's one of the things to it's a safety check for you to make sure the battery is inserted correctly and you've got that waterproof seal, but we'll talk about it once I put out the battery. So in terms of the camera, that's what you get with the camera. So I'm going to put that aside for a second. And let's see what's in the box. So I want to pull everything out because I have missed some things with the unbox videos. As you can see, I don't really do multiple takes of my videos or edit. I just wing it pretty much. So silica gel, yeah, don't eat that, poisonous. Right there, and I'm assuming you'll get all the accessories on there. What I can do is I can move that aside now. And really kind of focus exactly what you're going to cover. So whenever you actually got that. So this probably should just be the manual water goodies. So I'm assuming this is just a cable. So let's see if it's a USB-C to C or a... Yeah, so it's USB-A to C cable. Nice cable there. So if you've got a power bank or you don't have a computer that has a USB Type C, which I'm not sure why you wouldn't, but really that's the case. But it's going to be compatible with more power banks if you've got an older power bank that doesn't have a USB Type C output. And also it's going to be easier to connect to a wider range of computers. So I dropped that one in here. This is the thread screw. So you would notice that this thread screw is slightly different from the one I've used in the GoPros. So the GoPros normally have like a more of a circular one with probably 4 threads. This one's only got 2, flares out there. But in terms of the screw, it's the same screw, so it is going to work with your other cameras, so you set it into the cage and tighten it up. Why not? But if you've already got GoPro accessories, it's going to work. So this is their version of their mounting system. So most likely, that's the battery mounting system. So a bit different. So one for curved surfaces, so you can stick that to your helmet. I'm assuming that's one's for your standard 3M adhesive seals. You probably just buy your own in that case, but their interlocking system is slightly different, and this one's the flat version, and DJI made it a screw version, which you unscrew there and you unlock it. So a bit different from your GoPros, which everything uses a threaded mount. The curve, so I think if your helmet or you're going to put it in your car or something, this one's just a flat one. But yeah, I probably won't use that because I've got so many accessories there. But nice if it's a good box. But as I said, DJI GoPro a bit limited. So this is the battery case. It's really nice that DJI include the battery case with their products, and it's really nice laid out. So if you've got a whole bunch of the GoPro batteries, it's not going to be compatible, so you're going to buy the batteries, and you will most likely buy third party, which I will be, because the 3 batteries for the GoPros, if you buy directly and DJI, are really expensive. So I wouldn't go with it in there, and I have never had issues. Well, I'm mostly having issues with third-party batteries. So nice little case there. This is a little slot here for a spare memory card if you're going out for long shoots. If you've got 256 gigabyte cards, you'll be out there. Yeah, you've got plenty of space. So it's not like if you're shooting a on a proper camera, and you'll have like multiple hard drives floating around. These ones, you'll be fine. So we'll go for the camera now, put that aside. It's a nice case. I probably will keep that, but I'll probably get like one for like multiple batteries. So we're just gonna have a look at the battery here. So as I said, it slots in only one direction, and see how it's got two clips there. So that corresponds to the two little. So you rotate the actual battery to where inside the camera there's 3 little prongs there in the spring. So it goes in that direction there, and you will notice that on the camera there's a battery switch there on there as well. But we'll go back to that in a second once I can look at the camera. So the battery itself, see how it's got nice rubber seal, so that's part of the waterproofing. So if you are going to submerge it in the water, and it is submersible up to 11 meters without a waterproof case. So heads up there. So in terms of battery size, let's have a look, see if the camera can focus. There we go. So just lithium ion battery, yada yada. Let's see what it is. So 1300 milliamp hour, 3.85 volts at 4.4 volts, and the nominal charge is 3.85 volts. Okay, so max charge. So it will vary between 2. Rated capacity at 1300 milliamp hours or 5 watt hours. In terms of batteries, this is slightly above standard really, because most action cameras will go for either a 900 to 1100 watt hour battery. So this is a lot bigger than normal. But yeah, you can actually buy third-party camera batteries in it. Okay, so I should just slot this in, and I'll show you once I slot it in. Cameras is having trouble focusing this. Okay, so it's focused now. So when you slot it in, and see when I press it here, and you'll see an orange tag there. If you see an orange tag there, it's saying that it's not firmly sealed yet. Now that's one of the mechanisms that DJI has brought in to make sure that you've got the battery sealed correctly. So if you're working using rain, that you won't damage your camera. So it's a very smart device. So you'll see it here, and you'll see it on this side here as well when you push it in. Go on, focus camera. See, it's all slightly pressured, and you'll see the orange tag. And when you seal it incorrectly, these ones will go away. So now I know that it's perfectly sealed and ready to go. So you see there? No orange there, no orange there. So nice, ingenious. Okay, so we're just going to maybe just switch it on. Hopefully there's a bit of power there. And there. So nice little ringtone in there, and way to go through the setup. So you can choose if it's English, Chinese, I believe, Chinese, Korean, Dutch, and Spanish, French, Italiano, Portuguese, and Russian. Anyway, we're going to end slightly here, and I'm going to set this up in the app. So I'll be right back.
12 seconds later.
Okay guys, I'm back, and we've downloaded the DJI Mimo app. I've downloaded it on a spare phone that I've got in that case. So the thing that I've always been confused with DJI is they seem to come up with a brand new app every single time that they release a new range of products. So this is the DJI Mimo app. The good thing is you sign up for an account on whatever DJI app that you've got, and the accounts will be usable on all the apps. But I wish DJI really just collated all the apps together, because if you fly their drones, you can use their other cameras, then you're going to have multiple apps on your phone. I kind of wish that they've just put under the one window, and then you can just choose which device that you're using, and it will switch over to the appropriate app. So the Mimo app is pretty much for just the Osmo Action and the Osmo Pocket. You will notice that with the brand new Osmo Pocket 2, they've got rid of the Osmo branding, and I believe that they're doing this so they can like divide their product line much better. So we're going to switch it on, and the reason why I'm going through this is because you really need to activate the camera to use its full functions, and also to get the firmware updates, which is really important in this case. So we're going to set up English in this case, and it will tell you to use the QR code to download the app. I've already had the app installed actually on my other phone. I'm just using on this phone here just to show you how to do it. So we're gonna skip that in a moment, and I'm gonna set the date. Hold on, what's the date today? So it's going to be 2020, of course, and what's the time today? 05. Okay, so you would set up your language and your timestamp there, and please activate before news. Okay, and it only gives you 4 chances to activate the camera. So what we're going to do is we're going to add device on the camera, enable Bluetooth. So I'm just going to switch over to Bluetooth. Hold on a second. And Bluetooth should be on now. It's going to search for your camera here. Hopefully this will work. There we go. So it's actually found it. It found it for a second. So we'll search again. There we go. And we want to press connect. And we want to check the verification code. So you have a verification code on your phone and your thing, and you want to accept on there. And here we go, and you will get your DJI products terms of use, which you will get when you load up the app as well, and it'll ask you about the experience. You have a DJI experience, which will upload information to the DJI. You can choose to opt out if you would like, and it will ask you to activate and get device info, authorize DJI to access device info, and just go yes. And we're going to activate the camera. And one thing was great for DJI Care Refresh program, which you will hear about, and it's pretty much extra warranty on top, so accidental damage, and you get water damage coverage. If you're using this camera, probably you shouldn't have a big problem, but if you want to do that, you can skip if you like, and I will skip it. And activation complete, and that's all you will have to do. And you also get like a notice for beginners, and it will run through how to use the camera. So it's pretty much what's already in the manual. It's your quick start guide in this case, and then you're done. And what it will launch into is a firmware update, and I'm almost out of batteries, so I only got 2% batteries. Hopefully that's enough. It should be really quick. So that's the firmware update and thing, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly grab a power cable because I'm almost out of power.
1 hour later.
Okay guys, and we're back, and we're continuing with the firmware update. Made a bit of a mistake while installing the firmware. I didn't charge the battery and it died halfway through, so fully charged the battery. Good news, I was able to check the charging rate on the battery, and the battery charges at 5 volts and 1.5 amps, so 7.5 watts. And given the size of the battery, you get a full charge from completely dead to full in about 45 minutes. So it charges pretty quickly. Also, heads up, the camera will not connect if you're trying to charge the battery at the same time to the app. Make sure also that you've got an SD card available as well, because what it will do is it will install the installation files on the SD card, and will update that way. And you can see on the screen it says update successful, so it's updated to the latest firmware. And also make sure that you're on 2.4 gigahertz on Wi-Fi. This device does not work on the 5 gigahertz bandwidth, so make sure that you've got that done. And I'm just going to put OK, and there we go. It's fully, and that took like about 2 minutes. So make sure you got fully charged, and make sure that you're connected to 2.4. As I see, the app's not working at the moment because it's not connected to the camera. But besides that, it's all good. Alright, so that's what you get inside the box. You get the camera, you get the case, you get the battery with the so it's really nice when you buy these batteries, is you actually get the case, and you get a slot for your micro SD card, you get the thumb screw, 2 attachments which you may not want to use, a USB-A to USB Type-C, and you get your manuals. So just like a full-on instruction manual which you can download and access via the app, and also your quick start guide, and this to dry it out, but throw that out and don't eat that. Okay, so there we go. A bunch of hiccups in this video, but we eventually got there. And thank you guys for watching, and as always, like, comment and subscribe. Leave us a comment if you have any other questions. There will be a lot more videos coming up just to confirm like just additional things about features of how to use the device, and also video footage which I'll be testing out the modes. So this is just a first unboxing video, and just to show you exactly what you get inside the box. And for those guys who want to buy this during the Cyber Monday and Black Friday sales, I'm pretty sure that this will be on sale for a much cheaper price. So if you want an alternative to the GoPros without breaking the bank, this is the option to go. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Random Geek out. Cheers.